Hi, I'm here to tell you about how to make charts and graphs in Google Sheets. We are going to be using our weather data to make some charts and graphs and make this weather data make sense. And then we're going to compare it to the normal data for February. So here we go. The first graph we're going to make is a line graph showing our date, our high temperature, low temperature, and humidity. All of those numbers are high numbers, and so those are all going to go together on the same graph. If you notice, the wind speed and the precipitation are both pretty low numbers, and so those wouldn't really show up very well on a graph. So all you have to do is select the high, low, and humidity and all of the dates. Don't worry about selecting the average because we're actually going to do that separately. Then you're going to go to Insert and say Chart, and there it is. And it even automatically labels it for you. Now, one of the things that bothers me is it has made the high temperature blue and the low temperature red, and I don't really like that. So I'm going to select the high temperature and change the color to red. And then I'll do the same thing with the low temperature and change the color to blue. And then that just makes more sense visually. All right, so now I'm going to move that chart to the side, and then I'm going to make another graph of wind speed and precipitation. So I'll select wind speed and precipitation, say Insert Chart. Now it automatically wants to do a bar graph, and I don't really like that, or a column chart. So I'm going to change it back to a line graph. And now we can see the wind speed changes quite often, but the wind speed can often be tied to the precipitation. The precipitation is a lot smaller or a lot lower than the wind speed, but it does give us some good information. Now we're going to go to the bottom of our data and we're going to make a bar graph of, actually, no, I think we'll do a pie chart of wind direction and then of precipitation. So for wind direction, we're just going to highlight that entire box or all those boxes, and we'll say Insert Chart. And there's our pie chart. And you can see north and south were almost the whole time. It was only one day at east and one day at west. And so that's what it shows us, that we had a north wind 44% of the time and a south wind 46% of the time, or is that 48% of the time? And so that's some interesting information. Now we're going to look at precipitation. So you highlight that blue box, say Insert Chart. And what do you know? Most of the time in February, we had no precipitation at all. And when we did have precipitation, we had snow most of the time, although one day we had rain. No, 2 days we had rain, and one day we had a mix. We had sleet. So that's how you make those four graphs for your weather data.